All right, folks. So we're going to switch it up from Godzilla tonight to do one that I feel is really special. I've been a wrestling fan since I'm a little kid, since like 6 years old. I went to the very first WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden with my father when I was 11 years old. My favorite wrestler growing up was Randy Macho Man Savage. And I still watch wrestling all the time, you know. And my favorite modern day wrestler today is Roman Reigns. So this right here is the WWE Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns. And yeah, the Tribal Chief, the OTC. And yeah, so I am also going to dive into collecting some wrestling figures. Shout out to my boy Big Sisk. We both, started talking about collecting wrestling figures at the same time. And, we've just been talking about which wrestlers we get, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is what I wanted to start off with, Roman Reigns, man. You know, I thought it was the right choice for my first wrestling figure. I used to have those big rubber figures back in the day, which they're making some of those again. So I may have to get my hands on those. But I had the Macho Man, the Hogan, the Savage, Piper, Orndorff. I had them all back in the day. Stud, Bundy, and those were cool. And yeah, I've been thinking about getting into wrestling figures for a while because, I love Godzilla, but I also love wrestling equally, you know what I mean? So it does make sense to fucking dip my toe into the waters of wrestling figures, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Roman Reigns, man, and it's a nice box. I'm gonna show you how the box is kind of pretty cool the way the cover comes off. So we're gonna show you that and break this figure down. Okay, so I just want to show you the packaging. This is how the box opens up, which is really cool. And you're gonna see here you got quite a bit of accessories here. You get the two hands that come with them, and then another set of two hands. Where he's given the two fists and two bloodline number one, where the one's pointy finger hands. You're going to get this beautiful belt with Roman Reigns' plates on it, which looks really, really nice. I heard it's a nice material. I watched a couple reviews on this. I heard the belt is a nice bendy material that you could shape. Of course, you got the Ulafala here, which looks really nice. And then you're going to get the head that comes with him. And then you're going to get 3 more heads. So you're going to get, a hair pulled back in a ponytail head. You're going to get another long hair smile. Both of these are smiling heads. You're going to get a Superman punch head, where his hair is like flowing in the wind when he throws a Superman punch. So, that's why it's the Ultimate Edition, because you're getting all of these really nice accessories. And, of course, the features are much more accurate. And this looks so cool already. So, let's get him out of the box and see what we got. Okay, so Roman Reigns, baby, the Tribal Chief. So, here's a look at all the accessories here. You're getting the belt. You're getting the 3 different heads. You're getting an extra set of fist hands, an extra set of pointing hands for the number 1 sign. You're getting the Ulafala and Roman himself. Very, very cool that you get all of that. I love figures that come with accessories like that because it makes you feel like you're getting your money's worth here. By the way, it's a nice box. You got a nice picture of the figure on the back here, picture of Roman. And then it kind of gives you the tail of the tape. 6'3", Pensacola, Florida. Finisher is the spear. Career highlight, undisputed Universal Champion for over 1,100 days. So that was a legendary run. And, the bloodline story has been one of the best, most compelling stories in the history of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, he really carried the WWE on his back for 4 years, and the Bloodline story led the way. Um, and the character of the tribal chief was just so cool, man. And yeah, so this is the ultimate Roman Reigns right here. Look at all you're getting. This is the Roman Reigns to own for sure. So, but anyway, let's get into it. Let's pose him a little bit, see what he could do. All right, now that's what I'm talking about right there, man. That looks awesome. This face is the best face in my opinion that comes with it. The one that comes on it. It just looks the most like Roman, and it's just nice with the hair like that. But yeah, that's awesome, man. You got the finger, we the ones that you could put him like in this pose, beautiful with the ulafala around his neck, which looks great, and the title belt strap over his shoulder. Awesome, man. Look at that pose. That is certainly nice. The tribal chief Roman Reigns. Okay, so and it's got some nice articulation. I'm not used to it, man. I'm used to Godzilla, you know what I mean? So I'm still learning this articulation, but um, you know, I changed both hands. I put a fist on this one. I put the We the One's hand on this one, and they just pop right in easily. You got the arm bands too there. You could turn them around the right way if they turn when you pop off the hands. The legs have some nice posability to it. I kind of bent them at the knees a little bit right there. You could see that the articulation is going to allow you for some nice action poses. But this looks sick, man. I'm so glad that this was the figure I chose for my first wrestling figure. Man, I really love how very posable these figures are. So cool. You could really make any pose you want come to life. Holding the belt up in the air like that with the hand that grips while he's got the We the One sign up in the air. Look at that, man. That's awesome. Very, very cool, man. And man, I think they just really nailed Roman. Of course, you got the tattoos, Roman's tattoos here, which is great. And I think they just flat out nailed it. They really nailed the face on this one. Like, wow. I believe my friend Big Siski said that these faces are 3D. So it's goddamn accurate. That's all I can say. And it's well done, too. The eyes are painted well. It really, really captures Roman in the face. It's very, very accurate. So, yeah, that's super cool. Let's keep posing them. Okay, that's a fantastic shot, too. Holding the belt over his head like that with the Ulafala around his shoulders. Awesome. This is the Undisputed Championship. It's the belt that was made for him when he became Undisputed Champion. It was a big deal, him going over 1,000 days. And then I think it's 1,100 and something, is what he wound up with, which was impressive. I believe it's number... I don't know if he passed Hulk Hogan or not. He may have. He actually may have. He may be 3 or 4. I don't know if he passed Hogan, but yeah, I think it's close to it. He passed maybe one of Hogan's reigns. Maybe he's in 4th place, 3rd or 4th, which is very, very impressive because nobody's going to hold it 7 years like Bruno, or even, well, I can't say 5 years like Bob Backlund, but maybe, This was a legendary run. They usually flip the champion a lot more often these days than they did back then. But the belt is cool, and that looks awesome, and you could create a nice dynamic pose with Roman holding the belt up. Okay, so now I wanted to give you this look. I wanted to switch it to the smiling head with the with his hair pulled back there, you know, and you got the Ulafala and him holding the belt like that. So cool, man. I like this figure. The articulation on it is very nice. It goes by feeling, like by touch. You can feel where the posable spots are, if that makes any sense, when you're bending it. You know, you feel how to balance it. And that just looks very nice. Of course, you see some turn it. You have turn at the waist. You have turn at the top of the chest here. And, man, just looks so excellent. You got, you know, the wrist can turn. You got good bend at the elbow. Your arms go all the way around. Super, super nice bend at the knee here. The feet really work good. I like the way the front end of the feet bend to help for certain poses, which we'll get into some more of those. But that looks awesome, man. You could have a nice pose like this where Roman's cocking back his fist. I love that when he does that, you know, for the Superman punch. He basically cocks back the hammer. And that's cool that you could duplicate that pose. Awesome. Okay, so look at that. Borrowing a stand that I have for Rodan, we can get Roman into a fantastic Superman, mid-air Superman punch. And that looks sick. Yeah, Roman meet Rodan. Hell yeah. All right, look at that. We could get him into a pose where he puts his fist down in the corner right before, you know, he's going to cock it for a Superman punch. Or he's going to, like, then stand up and give his ooh-ah, which we're going to show you that pose as well. But that looks awesome, man. All right, now here's the other head here for the ooh-ah pose. Awesome. That looks great. This head is probably, you know, like the least accurate one. It's cool that you could use it for that pose, but I think it's not the best head to pose it with. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's still dope, nonetheless, that you could get him in that ooh-ah pose. Sick, man. But, yeah, the other two heads are better. One head is the best, the one that it comes on him, you know. But that's cool. You could also kind of do, you know, a pose like Roman is spearing you. I wish I had another wrestler to really get the full effect of the pose, but yeah, having a stand helps, especially for somebody like Roman, whose two primary moves are like aerial, basically moves where he leaves his feet, you know, so the spear and the Superman punch. But that looks great. Okay, that's an absolutely awesome pose. You could have him pointing his finger at somebody with the belt wrapped around his waist. That's how the belt looks around his waist. Looks awesome, man. Tribal chief pointing at you, or telling the Usos to go get him, or Sami Zayn, or Solo, you know. Awesome, man. The bloodline, I love it. So cool, bro. Okay, this is a great pose as well, with both of his arms up and belt around his waist. Just wanted to show you a closer look at what the belt looks like around his waist. Man, this is an absolutely awesome figure. Fantastic, man. Wow, does that look good. All right, folks, that's about going to wrap it up, you know. The aura of Roman Reigns, man. There's nothing beats that. There's nothing that's hits harder than when Roman's entrance music comes on. You know what I mean? Like, that is the epitome of aura for the WWE. And I'd like to see Roman hold this belt once again. You know what I mean? Because I think he's really the guy that I think he should have a third match with Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean? Where they could do an angle where they could turn Cody Rhodes heel. You know. By the way, shout out to Cody Rhodes. He's such a great guy, man. But I would like to see them, because Roman needs a redemption arc to his story. Like they just keep having him come back. They had him win back to Ulafala from Solo, but they need to make him. They need to put him in the running for the belt again. I think everybody would like to see Cody Roman 3 too. But I'm so impressed by this figure. Mattel, by the way. Mattel WWE Ultimate Series Roman Reigns. Fantastic, man. All right, well, subscribe to the channel, like the goddamn video, and I will be back at you shortly. I'll probably be back at you with another Godzilla first before my next wrestling figure comes. But my next figure is probably going to be Randy Macho Man Savage, for sure. But let's go to Tribal Chief. I acknowledge you, my Tribal Chief.